When Uchenna disappeared, it was like the whole world just kept moving without me. People rushing past, cars honking, shop owners rolling up shutters, all the everyday noises of life. And I was standing there, rooted to the pavement, watching them like a ghost no one could see. It felt like I'd been dropped in the middle of a story I didn't belong to anymore. Like my chapter had ended, but the pages kept turning without me. I kept scrolling through our old chats at night, lying flat on my bed with just the glow of my phone lighting my face. His silence was loud, louder than my playlist that used to drown out the noise in my head, louder than the chaos outside my window, louder even than my prayers. And in that silence, I kept asking the same question over and over. What did I do wrong? But there was no answer. Reading every line slowly, like maybe I had missed something. A clue, a warning, a sign. But every good morning, love now felt like a cruel echo from a place I could never get back to. A place that was warm once, but now only lived in my memory. Only the sound of my own breathing, slow and heavy, and the weight pressing down on my chest like a stone I couldn't lift. So I started posting more, a coffee in my hand, a tilted smile in a cafe, a mirror selfie with soft lighting, and a caption dripping with confidence. The quotes were all about self-love and moving on, but none of it was real. I wasn't healing, I was curating, building a gallery where strangers could admire a version of me that didn't exist. Every picture was a performance. I was the lead actress in my own fake life, and the audience was strangers, double tapping their approval like applause. I told them, queens don't chase, they attract. But in truth, I was chasing every scrap of attention I could find, even if it was laced with poison. Every like gave me a small thrill, like sugar melting on my tongue. Every DM felt like a blanket thrown over my shoulders on a cold night. But the warmth never lasted. It faded as soon as I locked my screen, and the cold crept back in, sharper than before. That's when Tobe appeared. A simple message. You don't know how fine you are. I saw it and rolled my eyes, but something in me noticed. The second message came the next day, and the third after that. His persistence wasn't desperate. It was confident, and it made me pause. He wasn't Uchenna. He didn't hide behind Bible verses or soft-spoken holiness. He was direct, bold, funny in a way that felt reckless. His voice notes had this unbothered ease that made me smile without meaning to. And little by little, I found myself checking my phone, hoping to hear from him. The first time we met, he was already there waiting. Black t-shirt, silver chain catching the light, leaning back like the whole place belonged to him. You're even finer in real life, he said. I rolled my eyes, pretending not to care. But inside, something in me liked the way his gaze didn't flinch. We talked for hours about music, about the dream cars we'd buy if money was nothing, about lecturers who made life unnecessarily hard. He made me laugh, not just politely but deeply, the kind that loosens something in your chest. And for a few hours, I forgot that a part of me was still bleeding quietly inside. When he walked me home, he didn't try to hold my hand. But at the gate, he paused, looked me straight in the eye, and said, I want you around. And something in me, tired, starved, and aching for belonging, believed him. Weeks passed. He became my morning text, my evening call, my safe distraction from the emptiness I didn't want to face. But distractions don't stay safe forever. That night, at his place, his hand found mine, his voice lowered. Stay. Just tonight. I hesitated. I'd drawn that line before, firmly, like a border no one could cross. But a thought crept in. If you say no, he might leave too. And the thought of another disappearance was more than I could bear. So I stayed, and I crossed the line. I told myself I never would. Morning came, but the sunlight felt cold. He was in the kitchen, humming some tune. and I was on the couch, staring at nothing, the sound of his voice in the background. I wondered, what exactly had I just traded for his smile? When I left, he kissed my cheek, but something in his eyes had shifted. And over the next days, the texts slowed, the calls shortened, until one day, they just stopped altogether. And there I was again, walking alone, phone in my hand, waiting for a message I already knew would never come. I threw myself into church activities, choir rehearsals, fellowship meetings. My voice sang about God's love, the words flowing easily. But my heart couldn't feel it. I was performing, even in worship, hitting every note but missing the present. Online, I was still glowing. New videos, perfect captions, hashtags about blessings and favor. But offline, I was crumbling quietly, smiling for the camera while my soul fell apart in the shadows. At night, I sat alone in my room, knees pulled up to my chest, staring at the cracks in the ceiling. No likes, no calls, no applause. Just me, and the emptiness I'd been running from, now sitting across from me like an old friend. I told myself I was in control, but the truth, I was just falling deeper into the dark. Fellowship had ended hours ago, but I stayed behind, pretending to arrange hymn books. Everyone left, except one person. I could feel their eyes on me from across the room. When I finally looked up, they smiled, not kindly, but knowingly, and said, "You don't have to keep pretending." Then they walked out, leaving me in the silence, with their words echoing louder than any sermon. That night, I didn't go straight home. My feet moved on their own, taking me somewhere I didn't plan. Somewhere I'd either find nothing or find the one thing my soul had been starving for.